Larry's World. We're going to show you how to make egg rolls. And what we have here is you can make egg rolls out of chicken, shrimp, pork, any type of meat that you want to put in there. And what we're making these egg rolls out of today is chicken. I've pre-chopped the chicken. I boned a leg, boned a couple wings. This right here is chopped up chicken. What you want to do is you want to chop your meat up so that it's small enough to fit with the other ingredients while you're making your egg rolls. The ingredients we got here is we got fresh ginger root, we have fresh garlic, we're going to need 1 egg, sesame oil, a dollop of peanut butter, and the reason we use the peanut butter is because a traditional Chinese egg roll is generally cooked in peanut oil. We put the peanut butter in there to give it that peanut oil taste. Then we got a little bit of cornstarch, celery, and cabbage. These are the ingredients we're going to need along with egg roll wraps. When you're cutting your celery, you want to cut it thin. You don't want big chunks, because if you have big chunks, it's not going to fit in the egg roll wraps very well. So you want to cut your celery real thin as you can get it. And after we get all this cut up, the next step is blanching the vegetables, because they have to be blanched so you can make a mix to put in your egg roll wrap. Okay, we got our celery chopped up, and this is okay, we have our celery chopped up, and this is what it should look like. It should be nice and thin like this so it blanches easily. Now we're going to do the cabbage. And when you do the cabbage, you want to cut it into chunks that are manageable, and you slice the cabbage up thin also. Now that your vegetables are chopped up, what you want to do is you want to blanch them. And when I do my celery in my cabbage mix, I like to put like 1/3 celery to 2/3 cabbage. Over here we have a blanching system with a colander, and you want to get this water to where it's just about boiling, just below the point of boiling, to do this blanching. You pour in your vegetables, and you blanch these for anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes. Because what you're doing is you're actually par cooking these a little bit, so it's more manageable and more flexible when you make your mix to put into your egg roll wraps. After you blanch your vegetables, what you want to do is you want to drain them. Put them in another vessel, because they're still going to be leaking. Now the type of colander that we're using, it's a system where it's got a lip on it, and it leaves a little space up underneath, because what we're going to need to do now is we need to actually put a pan on top of these vegetables, because we need to squeeze any moisture that's in them out of the vegetables. Otherwise the mix will be too watery. And let me show you how to do that. Okay, now that we have our vegetables blanched and drained, we're going to take a lid and we're going to put it right over the vegetables with some weight on top. Now the reason you want this weight on top is it's going to press a lot of moisture out of the vegetables, and you want to set this off to the side for at least an hour draining. Okay, now that we got our ginger and garlic all chopped up, ready to go, the next thing that we need to do is we need to pre-cook the meat. I have a cast iron skillet here, and what I like to use is a little bit of olive oil. Toss the meat in. And stir it around till it's fully cooked. Now that our meat is fully cooked, what we're going to do is we're going to turn that off. We're going to take a colander and
you're gonna burn your hand.
A hot pad. And we're going to drain the meat and let it cool. Now that our meat is cooled down, we're going to put it on a cutting board, and we are going to chop it just a little bit more so the mix isn't too chunky going into the egg roll wraps.
You just take a butcher's knife, spread your meat out, and hold it like this and just chop it up.
Now that our vegetables have been blanched, and I've let this sit about an hour draining, I'm going to take this off. And see how it's been squeezed down and a lot of the moisture has been taken out of there. You can see in the bottom of this pan the moisture, or your moisture on the bottom, or your water on the bottom there. You take your vegetables and you put them in another container, and this is going to be our mix. Then what you do is you take your cooled chopped meat, you add that, you add your freshly chopped garlic and ginger, your peanut butter, and you take this mix, peanut butter, chopped garlic, chopped ginger root, your vegetables, and your meat. Add a little bit of salt for flavor, and you mix all that up.
After you get all these ingredients mixed in, then what you want to do is
you want to take your cornstarch and you want to add a layer of cornstarch up on the top. And what this cornstarch does is it holds everything together. You want it to hold together like this so that when you're making your egg rolls, you can just hold so much in your hand, press it together, and it holds together real nice, and you place it on your egg roll wrap, which we're going to be showing you here in a minute.
okay, and that's your mix. That's what you're going to be using, putting your egg roll wraps.
Now the sesame oil, I like to put it in there because it gives it a real traditional Chinese taste, along with the garlic and the ginger. If you don't want to add sesame oil, just do it the way I showed you how to make the mix. But when you add the sesame oil, you add very little, about a teaspoon, because it's a very strong flavoring. Mix that.
Real well.
The egg acts as a glue to hold the egg roll together once we're rolling it. So what we need to do is we need to break an egg, whisk it up, and that's our glue. What we want to do is we want to get our oil at a temperature between 350 and 375 to cook these egg rolls. Take one sheet, lay it with the corner pointed towards you. You grab a small handful of the egg roll mix. You lay it in the middle. You take the point that's towards you, wrap it over, snug it up, take the ends, pull them over, and then you roll it. Leaving the far point out, you dip your fingers in the egg, put a little egg on the end there, and continue to roll. Let's run that by you one more time. The point towards you, handful of mix, roll the point towards you over, snug it up, take your ends, pull them up, and roll it the rest of the way up. Take your egg mixture, make your glue, continue to roll. Then what you do is you put it in your oil, which is between 350 and 375, and fry them till they're golden brown. Now another way that you can do this is you can pre-make the egg rolls for later use. But what you need to do is you need to fry them halfway so that they don't fall apart. That way you can put them in containers and either freeze them or store them in your refrigerator till you're ready to heat them up, fry them the rest of the way. But right now we're going to cook these egg rolls till they're golden brown and show you what they look like. Okay, what I'm going to show you here is how to prepare these egg rolls so you can store them either in the freezer or refrigerator. You get your oil at the temperature I recommended. Put them in your hot oil. And you let them cook just long enough where it hardens up the outside and they don't fall apart. All you want is a little bit of light brown on these. Just like that. Now these egg rolls I just showed you are storable. Freezer, refrigerator, wherever you want to put them. Now if you want to eat them right away, like I say, you fry them so they're golden brown, which is usually a couple minutes, anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes, depending on how brown you want them, how dark you want them. I usually do them a couple minutes. I wouldn't cook, I'd cook them absolutely less than a minute if you want to store them. Now these are ready to store. Just let them cool down, put them in an airtight container, put them in your fridge. They'll probably last a good week, maybe a little longer in your fridge. In your freezer, they'll last much longer. You can prepare a whole oodles of them and store them and eat egg rolls, have egg rolls with different meals. And this, folks, the finished product. Absolutely delicious. Mmm. How was that? Slowly creeped up under the underwear loose. I'm a velociraptor.